In today's show, Bitcoin maintains $40,000 support as Fed confirms rate hike in 4 years. In today's show, I'll be breaking down the latest technical analysis. And as me, Calvin, they pop shares here. The good reaction of the market here, in which it broke through 39,600. Next will be the question of whether we can sweep the $42,000 high. That would open the gates towards the $46,000 barrier. Crucial to hold 39,600 area for Bitcoin. And as Plan B shares here, he unveils a possible scenario where the Bitcoin price skyrockets close to $300,000 this year. Check it. Bitcoin is 60% below the stock to flow model value. Some think stock to flow is dead. Others know we have 2 more years to reach the $100,000 average. Your choice. And he also shares here Bitcoin equals 20 ounces of gold since January 2021, up from 5 ounces in 2020. Another 4x soon. Send it. And as shared here, the amount of Bitcoin last moved more than 10 years ago just hit 2.4 million coins. It's likely most of these coins are lost forever. As Satoshi said, lost coins only make everyone else's coins worth slightly more. Think of it as a donation to everyone. Also in today's show, Terra/Luna founder plans to obtain $10 billion in Bitcoin for reserves. As he shares here on Twitter, UST with 10 billion plus in Bitcoin reserves will open a new monetary era of the Bitcoin standard. Peer-to-peer electronic cash that is easier to spend and more attractive to hold. Also in today's show, breaking news, Ukraine has officially legalized Bitcoin after President Zelensky signed the virtual asset bill into law. That's right, Ukraine has legalized the crypto sector. From now on, foreign and Ukrainian cryptocurrency exchanges will operate legally and banks will open accounts for crypto companies. It's an important step towards the development of the VA market in Ukraine. Now check this out. Ukrainian diplomat arrested trying to leave the country with $140,000 cash, 68,000 in euros, 12 kilograms of gold bars, and 13.8 kilograms of gold jewelry. Should have used Bitcoin, bro. No kidding. And Max Kaiser responds to this article from the IMF entitled, IMF does not want to allow another country in Latin America to adopt Bitcoin. Max says, too late. Also in today's show, billionaire Mike Novogratz predicts Bitcoin will explode by over 1,100%. That's right, in a new interview, quoting him here, the whole year I thought we would be at $30,000 to $50,000 range in Bitcoin, risk to the upside and not the downside. But I think 5 years out, if Bitcoin is not at $500,000, I'm wrong on the adoption cycle. We see an adoption cycle that accelerates. Bitcoin grew so much faster last year and crypto grew more than the internet did in its best years in the 90s. I see this going viral everywhere. If it's in the Middle East or in, pension funds in the United States, all getting ready to participate. Also in today's show, we'll be taking a look at the overall crypto market. As you can see, Bitcoin and all the cryptos are pumping and in the green. But where's the Bitcoin price? Likely to go next. Find out all this, plus so much more, in today's show. And today's episode is brought to you by BlockFi, the #1 leading provider of financial products and services for crypto investors. And right now you can get up to $250 in Bitcoin when you buy crypto or fund your account today with BlockFi. Be sure to use my referral link in the description right down below. Right now there are more than 500,000 people and 350 institutions globally using BlockFi to manage over $10 billion in assets. And here are some of their flagship products, which includes their trading platform where you can buy, sell, and trade the top cryptocurrencies. You can do instant trades with ACH. You can trade 24/7, 365. Another flagship product I love is their BlockFi Bitcoin Rewards Visa credit card, where you can earn an unlimited 1.5% back in Bitcoin on everything you buy. There are no annual fees, no foreign transaction fees, and you can see if you're approved with no impact to your credit score. Also like to point out, for your first 90 days, you're actually going to earn 3.5% Bitcoin back on all your purchases, truly making this a no-brainer. So go ahead and click my referral link in the description right down below to get up to $250 in Bitcoin, and let's start stacking those sats. Shall we? All right, welcome back to another episode of Crypto News Alerts. I'm your host, JV. How's it going? I'm coming to you live from a hotel here this morning. Bitcoin held 40,000 on March 17th after the anticipated key interest rate hike from the Fed delivered a strong response. Right here, looking at the Bitcoin 1-hour candle chart, and currently all the cryptos are pumping and in the green. Now, new data from Cointelegraph Markets Pro and TradingView showed Bitcoin climbing to local highs of 41,500 after the Fed announced it would raise rates by 25 basis points to 0.5%, the first such move since 2018. Now, the Federal Open Market Committee voted almost unanimously for the raise, with an accompanying statement warning of persisting upward pressure on inflation, thanks specifically to the war in the Ukraine. Quoting them here, the invasion of Ukraine by Russia is causing tremendous human and economic hardship. It read, along with the following: the implications for the U.S. economy are highly uncertain, but in the near term, the invasion and related events are likely to create additional upward pressure on inflation and weigh on economic activity. And going forward, there would be further hikes. The FOMC continued, and the Fed would begin reducing its asset holdings in a bid to decrease its record high balance sheet. They shared here the committee's assessments will take into account a wide range of information, including reading on public health, labor market conditions, inflation pressures and inflation expectations, and financial and international developments. The statement added about possible future changes to the policy. And as crypto analyst Mikhail Pop shares here, the good reaction of the market here, in which it broke through 39,600. Next will be the question of whether we can sweep the $42,000 high. That would open the gates towards the $46,000 barrier. Crucial to hold 39,600 area. Let's freaking go. Now, those levels were already well established as rungs on the ladder span in Bitcoin's 2022 trading range between $33,000 and $46,000, with an analyst this week arguing that only a move outside the top or bottom boundary would be significant. And on the traditional markets, optimism also remained, with China fueling a comeback for Asian equities, which promises of favorable policy changes. Quoting Holger right here on Twitter, Hang Seng Tech Index jumped 7.8% to extend recovery after Beijing capitulated to markets. Previously, China didn't care if Western investors couldn't invest there, but it does need capital and it doesn't need collapse. So on Wednesday, word went out that China to be market friendly. And checking out this gold chart here, you can see it coming down from earlier highs above $2,000 at the time of this recording. And checking out the latest from Plan B, creator of the Bitcoin stock to flow model, he says Bitcoin is 60% below stock to flow model value. Some think stock to flow is dead. Others know we have 2 more years to reach the $100,000 average. Your choice. What is it going to be? And in this chart, he unveils a possible scenario where the Bitcoin price can skyrocket close to $300,000 this year, as you can see here in this chart. And he also shares regarding gold, Bitcoin equals 20 ounces of gold since January 2021, up from 5 ounces in 2020. Another 4x soon. Let's go. Frickin' send it. And as pointed out here, the amount of Bitcoin last moved more than 10 years ago just hit 2.4 million BTC. It is likely most of these coins are lost forever. And quoting Satoshi, lost coins only make everyone else's coins worth slightly more. Think of it as a donation to everyone. And before I break down next story of the day, Terra/Luna founder plans to obtain $10 billion in Bitcoin for reserves. But first, let's take a quick look at the overall market. As you can see, most all the major cryptos are pumping and in the green, with Bitcoin up 0.5%, maintaining at around that $41,000 mark. We have Ether up 3%, trading just under $2,800. Avalanche surging up 12%, trading at around $80. And interestingly enough, only Luna/Terra is down about 0.5% for the day, but still trading above $89. But all right, speaking of Luna/Terra, let's break this down. The founder of Terraform Labs and Ethereum competitor Terra Do Kwon has outlined plans to accumulate a whopping $10 billion worth of the King crypto to add to the project's stablecoin reserves. Now, Terra is a decentralized blockchain platform that specializes in stablecoin minting. Its Terra UST is an algorithmic stablecoin pegged to the value of the United States dollar, and with the US dollar value partially maintained with an equivalent amount of its native token, Terra/Luna. Kwon noted via Twitter on Monday that Terra will not sell its native asset Luna to build its reserves, and that more information is coming soon. Kwon also bullishly emphasized that its stablecoin Terra USD, better known as UST, backed by over 10 billion in Bitcoin reserves, will open a new monetary era for the Bitcoin standard. Quoting him here on crypto Twitter, UST with 10 billion plus in Bitcoin reserves will open a new monetary era of the Bitcoin standard, peer-to-peer electronic cash that is easier to spend and more attractive to hold. Now check this out. When Cointelegraph reached out to Kwon to see if the plans were already in motion or if it was just an idea being floated around, and he responded, "I don't understand the distinction. We are already buying Bitcoin. Let's go." And when users on Twitter asked Kwon what the Bitcoin reserves will be used for, he responded that the funds will be used to backstop short-term UST redemptions and for a decentralized Forex reserve. And in a tweet shortly after, Kwon also noted, "We started buying Bitcoin and Twitter verifies me. I see you, Jack," in a nod to Jack Dorsey, who is a Bitcoin bull and former CEO of Twitter. Hilarious, right? Now, this is the second time this month that Kwon outlined plans to fortify the reserves backing Terra stablecoin after TFL donated 12 million Luna to the Luna Foundation Guard on Friday, worth around $1 billion at the current prices, to support the growth of the Terra ecosystem and the sustainability of its stablecoins. Kwon outlined that the project will keep growing reserves until it becomes mathematically impossible for idiots to claim to peg risks for UST. And according to data from CoinGecko, the market cap of UST currently sits at $15.12 billion. And before I break down our next breaking story of the day, Ukraine has officially legalized Bitcoin after President Zelensky signed the virtual assets bill into law. But first, let's take a quick look at the overall crypto market cap, sitting just above $1.8 trillion with 94 billion in volume in the past 24 hours. The current Bitcoin dominance is 42.6%, with the Ether dominance at 18.3%. And checking out the top 100 cryptocurrency gainers for the week, you can see a sea of green. I love to see this. We have Rune up a whopping 68%, Basic Attention Token up 34%, GRT up 27%, and the gains continue. Let's go. And checking out one of my favorite indicators is the Crypto Greed and Fear Index. Shows we're currently rated a 27 out of 100 in fear. Yesterday was a 24, last week a 28, and last month a 46 in fear. And if you're not familiar with the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, extreme fear can be a sign investors are too worried. That could be a great buying opportunity. BTFD, buy that freaking dip. And when investors are getting too greedy, that means the market is due for a correction. But all right, now let's break down our next story of the day. Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, currently based in the capital city, has signed a law establishing a legal framework for the country to operate a regulated crypto market. In a Wednesday announcement, Ukraine's Ministry of Digital Transformation said Zelensky signed a bill named on virtual assets, first adopted by the country's legislature in February. Crypto exchanges and firms handling digital assets will be required to register with the government to operate legally in Ukraine, and banks will be allowed to open accounts for crypto firms. The law endows Ukraine's National Securities and Stock Market Commission with the power to determine the country's policies on digital assets, issues licenses to businesses dealing with crypto, and act as a financial watchdog. The government agency added that Ukraine's Ministry of Finance was also working towards amending the country's tax and civil codes to accommodate the legal framework for digital assets. Quoting them here, on crypto Twitter, Ukraine has legalized the crypto sector. From now on, foreign and Ukrainian cryptocurrency exchanges will operate legally and banks will open accounts for crypto companies. It's an important step towards the development of the VA market in Ukraine. Now, cryptocurrency has become a major issue in the country's current fight against Russia following the invasion on February 24th, with many donating directly to the Ukraine for humanitarian causes and funding the military. And at this time, the National Bank of Ukraine said it had limited cash withdrawals at banks and fixed the foreign exchange rate of their local currency and suspended the issuance of electronic money. Interesting, eh? And on Monday, Kuna, Ukraine's largest crypto exchange, helped launch a donation platform with FTX and Kuna, staking platform Everstake, and the Ministry of Digital Transformation to allow users to send several cryptocurrencies to support people in their fight for freedom. And according to the website, users have sent more than $54 million in crypto at this time, roughly 27% of the platform's $200 million goal. Pretty crazy, eh? What's happening around the world. And here's a great example of why we need Bitcoin. Ukrainian diplomat arrested trying to leave the country with 140,000 cash, 68,000 in euros, 12 kilograms of gold bars, and 13.8 kilograms of gold jewelry. Should have used Bitcoin, brah. Preach. And Max Kaiser responded to this headline article from the IMF. IMF does not want to allow another country in Latin America to adopt Bitcoin. Too late. And also keep in mind, it was on February 24th, Max Kaiser and Stacey Herbert quit the Kaiser Report. That was the same day the bombs were dropped. And they told the producer of the show that we are out. And Stacey Herbert tweeted this morning. IMF deal with Argentina inserts clause. The national government will discourage the use of cryptocurrencies and the prevention of fraud and informality. Bitcoin prevents fiat fraud, though. Very interesting. And before I break down our final story of the day, billionaire Mike Novogratz predicts Bitcoin will explode by over 1,100% and shares when. But first, I want to remind you to smash that show more button right below this video in the description for a detailed analysis of what's going on in the crypto market. This goes for all 1,000 plus videos right here on my YouTube channel. Also, some very helpful resources for you to plug into, including my crypto merch store, now live at merch.cryptonewsalerts.net. Also, the daily letter that goes out every single day to over 30,000 subscribers. To subscribe, visit letter.cryptonewsalerts.net. Also have a blog I update daily, which could be found at cryptonewsyes.com. Also be sure to smash that subscribe button and ring that bell to turn on all notifications to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, just like this. And of course, you can find me on all the major podcasts and platforms, from Spotify to Apple's iTunes. And if you're listening to the pod, be sure to check out the YouTube channel at cryptonewsalerts.net for the full premium experience with video. And of course, you can follow me on crypto Twitter, Facebook, Telegram, and TikTok. So wherever you're at, be sure to plug in and follow me there. But all right, now let's break down our final story of the day. Galaxy Digital CEO Mike Novogratz is predicting that Bitcoin could rally by over 10 times over the next decade. Send it. In a new Bloomberg interview, Novogratz says Bitcoin will range for the rest of the year, but will hit the six-figure price in 5 years as adoption of the flagship crypto grows. Quoting him here, the whole year I thought we would be at $30,000 to $50,000 range in Bitcoin, risk to the upside and not to the downside. But I think 5 years out, if Bitcoin's not at $500,000, I'm wrong on the adoption cycle. The Galaxy Digital CEO says that in 2021, the adoption of Bitcoin happened at a faster rate than the internet technology did back in the 90s. Quoting him here, we see an adoption cycle that accelerates. Bitcoin grew so much faster last year, and crypto grew much more than the internet did in its best years in the 90s. I see this going viral everywhere, if it's in the Middle East or if you know, in pension funds in the United States, all getting ready to participate. Now, Novogratz also says that the recent decision by the US and its allies to freeze the assets of the Russian central bank after Russia invaded Ukraine would benefit Bitcoin and other digital assets. As he shares here, I think we're entering a world that's unknown, where people are going to struggle to figure out what is the reserve currency. The US isn't going away, the dollar's not going away, but it's not going to be the sole place. And so I think you're going to see this hodgepodge of assets. Gold, certainly digital assets are going to be a part of that bucket. The whole world's not going to flip to Bitcoin overnight, but you're going to see more and more people say, I want to have some of my money outside of the sovereign. And to watch this entire video interview with Michael Novogratz entitled Novogratz on Bitcoin Adoption, CBDCs, and Blockchain Technology, check the show notes below the video in the description. And what's your thoughts surrounding his 1100% growth explosion for the King Crypto to surpass $500,000 per coin? Let me know in the comments right down below. And now for a quick recap of what I covered with you here in today's show. Bitcoin maintains 40,000 support as the Fed confirms rate hike in 4 years, as well as Terra/Luna founder planning to obtain $10 billion in Bitcoin for its reserves. We also discussed breaking news: Ukraine's president signs law establishing regulatory framework for crypto. United States, where you at, dog? Also in today's show, we discussed billionaire Mike Novogratz predicting Bitcoin will explode by over 1,100% to over $500,000 per coin. But where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to go next? Let me know in the comments right down below. Now for the top 3 comments from yesterday's episode. DK wrote, love the channel. I agree the world is the stage. It's a big club and we ain't in it. Hodl that. Thanks for your support, fam. Much love. Hodl. And our next featured comment comes from eCoin, who wrote, Aloha JV. Long day for me, so I'm catching crypto news alerts pretty late. Just wanted to say, what's up and hodl. Actually, just FYI, I released yesterday's episode 12 hours late just due to circumstances of life, unexpected challenges that occurred. But nonetheless, I appreciate you tuning in, fam. One love. And our third and final featured comment, short and sweet, from ESP Academy. Let's freaking go. JV, Bitcoin to the moon. Send it. And to be featured on tomorrow's episode, drop me a comment right down below. Well, that's going to conclude today's show. As always, I appreciate you tuning in and journeying along with me inside this incredible crypto matrix. That's right, Bitcoin is the glitch in the matrix. And I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow's episode. Peace.